Communicating is part of everyday life. We are constantly interacting with people in thousands of different ways. But for the main part, they fit into one of the following categories. Verbal, or communicating in words, which includes speaking, singing, writing, and sign language. Non-verbal, which includes body language, tone, and volume of voice. Visual, which includes symbols, drawings, colour, typography, graphics, and artwork. When the sender sends a message, they use a range of verbal communication skills. But it's worth remembering that non-verbal communication accounts for almost 90% of the way that a message is conveyed and interpreted. This tells us that what we say is important, but the way that we say it conveys a far stronger message. A few non-verbal cues that you should be aware of when communicating are eye contact, gestures, personal space, posture, for example, leaning forward, leaning back, crossing arms, standing up and looking down, sitting down and looking up. Tone or inflection of voice. For example, speaking quietly, shouting, using soft inflections, using a sharp tone. Physical appearance, facial expressions, and dress. Once the message from the sender has reached the receiver will have to listen. And without effective communication skills, it is unlikely that the receiver will be able to decode the message accurately. For listening to be effective, the sender and the receiver need to perceive the signals in the same way. This involves hearing the words that are being said, listening to the tone, whilst taking in the non-verbal cues such as body language and facial expressions. It also includes paying attention to the tone of the voice. The next step in the communication process involves interpretation. The receiver needs to interpret what they've heard and will have to understand to respond appropriately. The responding stage is where the receiver accepts and responds on an emotional level. For example, if your manager asks if a task assigned to you has been completed, and you interpret this as your manager blaming you for not completing the task, you might respond with anger. But if you interpret their question as a status update on the task, you are less likely to respond defensively. When the receiver replies to the sender, they are providing feedback to confirm that the message has been received and processed correctly. This then allows the original sender to respond and confirm that the message has been communicated as intended.